Introducing 24 Days of Holograms using the Flaviar Whisky Advent Calendar. 24 days, 24 whiskeys.
Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of a pause on the reviews for now. I got the Flaviar Whisky Advent Calendar. I'm going to do 4 whiskeys for every 4 days that it has happened. So we're going to get 6 of the Advent Calendar whiskeys. I'm not going to like super review them. I'm going to tell you what they are, what they smell and taste like, and whether or not I like them. So for number 1, this is called Fistful of Bourbon. This is from New York, and I have my cool little notes here on my little nice pink note that we have on the fridge. So, no age statement, blended bourbon from New York. It is 90 proof, 45% alcohol. It's not all these I was able to find prices on, but this one looks like it's about $38, so pretty cheap whiskey. I get a lot of caramel, maybe a little bit of like nuts on the nose. It's not really ethanol. You'd assume, again, anything under $40 you might get a lot of ethanol, but this is like so surprisingly, like even right on that nose, some spiciness on there. When I say spice, a little bit of rye. Because it's a blend, there's not really like a mash bill because it's just a blend of other bourbons already, so we don't know what the mash bill is. But really pleasant nose. For the palate, ooh, it's a little bitey on the first sip, but a lot of those like almond, pecan, walnut notes really settle in there after you swallow. And definitely a lot of oak influence. This is actually a pretty good whiskey for under $40. My goodness. Yeah, a lot of cinnamon, a little maybe a cinnamon nutmeg. Really nice for the holidays. Now, they call this calendar the Depths of Whisky, so we're going to have a lot of places to choose from as far as like on the world map. So that was number 1. All right, so the second whiskey on the Whiskey Advent Calendar is, I'm going to say this bottler wrong, but this is bottled by Rancolan Salvadoreño. And the way that like it was on the Flaviar website is it says it's from the Netherlands. So I think this bottler is from the Netherlands because they bottled this 100% rye whiskey from the United States. So this is actually a American 100% rye whiskey bottled by a Netherlands bottler, I think. Anyway, this is a, from what I can see here, it's a 5-year blended rye. So we have 5 ryes blended together, max age to 5 years. It's 100 proof and it's 50% alcohol. I could not find the price. I searched online for a little bit and all I could find was like their rum bottles that they bottle. And I think if I found the whiskey, it was like $200, which I don't think that's the thing, because the whole Flaviar calendar, actually, I didn't say, was $260. So no way they're putting this guy in there if it's that much money. So actually, I didn't do the legs on the first one, sorry, but pretty quick. But I like it mixing around my mouth quicker. Let's see. I do like my ryes. It's kind of interesting. Definitely, that smells a little bit like a spicy apple pie. A tiny bit of ethanol bite, but it's not super bad. But this is very like orchardy, almost like the Starward Nova was on that review. But yeah, very fruity, floral, a little bit of spice in there. I like that. Funnily enough, less bite than the previous whiskey, which was 45% on this 50% here. That was, I didn't get a whole lot on that one. Maybe a little bit of the apples still stuck around on a little bit of the palate there. That was kind of a small sip. Yeah, this is almost like they just decided to go, hey, let's just get rye, but just pound a bunch of apples in here. Because I'm definitely getting the vanilla, nutmeg, spiciness that you get out of these ryes, but very, very appley orchard. This is really, really good. I don't know how much it costs, but I do like this one, and this was number 2. Number 3, this is from a bottler called Prologue, and this is called their Chapter 7. This is a blended scotch. This is a blend of Speyside and Highlands. And if you don't know the map, they both touch. You got Big Highland and Speyside right up there. So this should be like a kind of mix of two pretty similar regions. This is no age statement, according to my little paper here, but it is 47% alcohol and 94 proof. They're an independent bottler. So I guess what they're doing is they're just getting casks from the Speyside and Highland distilleries. I do not know what distilleries these are from, but I will say that if you haven't seen one of the videos where we're talking with the Scotch Father, there's 3 of them out. I think it's probably the Scotch region one. I always get this, like, I called it sour in that video whenever I smell the Speysides and Highlands, but I think what we decided to boil that down to is kind of like a fermented fruit. But with this one specifically, I get that little bit of like sourness, but I am also getting a lot of undertones of kind of like brown sugar. So you're getting the nice floral lightness that you have from Speysides and a little bit of the raisins that you're kind of going to get from the Highland, but then you get that fermented fruit, and I got a little bit of that brown sugar on that nose. That's a pretty good nose. This one I actually did find a price for. I think it's around $35, give or take. These are all going to be, I think, probably under 40 bucks. So if you're like my descriptions of some of these, and you want to go find a bottle, they shouldn't be that expensive, which is good. But also, like, this is one of the fun things about Advent calendars. You get to just try a whole bunch of stuff, and I really wish I could buy bottles this size more often, because these are 50 milliliters. These are great to just try and just go in. I don't want to buy a big bottle and then hate it like the Coalition from Kentucky. It's going to happen probably in a while, because I'm going to do this Advent calendar stuff before I do that. Anyway, let's sip this guy. That is exactly what I would expect a Speyside Highland blend to taste like. Just, man. I'm getting some more grains, but that fermented fruit and actually vanilla sitting on there. This is very pleasant. It's not biting, and for a Scotch, it's getting a little bit higher from what you get in the standard. A lot of the Scotches I've had are like 43 to 45%. It's more than 47, not huge, but this is a very nice, smooth, pleasant experience. Yeah, a lot of those like kind of grapey raisins. That vanilla and the cerealness is popping up a little more there too. This number 3, this is pretty good. This was the first Scotch we had on the calendar. So let's see what number 4 is. Okay, number 4. This is the first single malt for the Advent calendar, and it's not from Scotland. This is from India. I might say this wrong, so I'm gonna say it 2 ways. It's Kamet or Comet. I'm not sure which one it is. This is a no-age statement single malt from India. This is 46% alcohol and 92 proof. I was able to find a price, I think. I think I saw it around $50, so maybe one of the more higher-end ones on the calendar. However, I haven't had Indian whiskey before. I'm very, very excited to try this. I love trying just entirely new parts of the world that make whiskey. So let's get this nose here. Oh my God, that is like... That smells like a lemon head. Ever have that candy? Like a very sweet lemon, maybe even like a lemon meringue pie. And some apples there. Jeez. There's some underlying vanilla because of the pie I just noted earlier, but wow, this is nice. This really makes you want to drink the whiskey, so let's do just that. Okay, so based on what I was smelling, that was a little bit of a letdown for the palate. But it's not horrible. It's just a little more empty than what the nose kind of said, hey, this is what you smell like, and then you taste it and you're like, you lied to me. So I will say I don't hate it. This is a good experience. But if I was going to try and buy this bottle, I don't think I would. I'm glad I got this smaller guy. Let me do another sip. Yeah, the nose is so much better than the palate. The palate just turns into just like a standard single malt experience, and it's kind of just tastes like a Highland, very very raisiny, nutty, some grains. I don't get any of that lemon apples that I had on the nose. We do one more. Yeah, and I have been cleansing between each one of these, but the palate was a little bit of a letdown. But I will say the nose on this was really, really good. But all right, that is the first 4 days of the Flaviar Advent Calendar. I think maybe Friday or Saturday I'll pop out the next 4 days. That's going to be the whiskey content going forward. It's going to push the reviews until probably the end of Christmas, or at least the end of the Advent Calendar, which is at least until Christmas Eve. Hope you like it. It's going to be probably a little more whiskey videos per week. I'm going to try and keep up with it. If you liked it, give it a like. Not subscribed yet. Appreciate if you do so. Helps me grow. I appreciate all you who already have. Love you all. See ya. Ron Polan Salvadoreño.
Babbling a lot.
No problem?
No, it's not a problem.
Cut stuff out. Ooh, no, you got. Oh, strip sack. Oh, no. Didn't start him.